Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining me again here on the podcast. It's the end of another week in crypto, and this one has been packed with stories that will ripple through the markets for weeks to come. We've seen XRP and Dogecoin explode onto Wall Street with brand new ETFs. The SEC changed the game for future listings. Bitcoin and Ethereum react to Federal Reserve hints. The UK tilt toward a more tailored regulatory approach, and India continue to hedge its bets. Tonight, I'm going to walk you through all of it. We'll start with the top 10 coins so we know exactly where the majors stand, then dive into the week's biggest headlines with analysis, history, and a look forward to what might come next. So let's begin with the numbers. The top 10 coins by market cap, excluding the stablecoins. Bitcoin is trading around $115,960, more or less flat on the day and down just under 1% on the week. It's been steady, consolidating as traders wait for clarity from the Fed. Ethereum is sitting at about $4,470, slipping slightly this week, down around 3%. XRP is trading close to $2.97, down about 1.5% on the day, cooling off a little after the hype of its ETF debut. Binance Coin is around $1,002, holding steady. Solana is at roughly $237 to $238, sliding back a few percent after its strong run earlier in the month. Dogecoin is at about 26.5 cents, showing mild weakness, down 1 to 2%. Cardano is trading around 89 cents, fairly flat. Tron is holding at 34.5 cents. Chainlink is at about $23.21, down slightly. And Avalanche rounds out the top 10 at $33.39, still green on the week, with gains of nearly 3%. So the snapshot is mixed. Bitcoin and Ethereum are quiet, XRP and Dogecoin are cooling after their big moment, and Avalanche has quietly outperformed. It's a picture of a market that is pausing, waiting, and recalibrating. Now let's talk about the biggest story, the debut of XRP and Dogecoin ETFs. On September 18th, Rex Osprey launched XRPR for XRP and DOJE for Dogecoin, both listed on the Cboe. These were not small, sleepy debuts. XRPR posted $37.7 million in trading volume on its first day, making it the largest debut of any fund launched in 2025. DOJE came in strong too, pulling in about $17 million. Put together, that's $54.7 million in combined day one volume. Out of more than 700 launches this year, those two were in the top 5. That tells us everything we need to know. There was demand. Real demand. Both from retail investors and from institutions that wanted clean exposure. These are hybrid funds, not pure one-to-one trackers. They hold a majority of XRP or Dogecoin, but balance those with other instruments to meet regulatory requirements. That means there are fees. That means the performance might not perfectly mirror the spot market. But the headline here isn't purity, it's access. For the first time, investors can buy XRP and Dogecoin through their brokerage accounts, the same way they'd buy Apple stock or a gold fund. That changes the game. Accessibility always brings capital. We saw it with gold in the early 2000s. Once you could buy gold through an ETF, inflows surged and price followed. We saw it again this year with Bitcoin. The first few days of the Bitcoin ETFs were rocky, but over weeks and months, billions poured in. The same dynamic is now in play for XRP and Dogecoin, and this isn't happening in isolation. The SEC just approved generic listing standards for spot crypto products. That means exchanges can list new products without the old 240-day slog. If a coin has a futures market, proper surveillance, and liquidity, it can be listed in as little as 75 days. That's a massive change. Solana is first in line, Cardano is right behind. Avalanche, Chainlink, and others could follow. The floodgates are open. For XRP, this is vindication. After years of lawsuits being dragged through court by the SEC and endless speculation about whether it would survive, XRP now has a US-listed ETF trading tens of millions of dollars in volume. That is legitimacy at a level no partnership or press release could ever deliver. For Dogecoin, it's almost unbelievable. A coin that started as a joke now has a regulated fund trading on Wall Street. That proves two things. Narratives matter and community matters. But let's not pretend this is risk-free. Hybrid funds may face tracking error. They may trade at premiums or discounts depending on demand. Premiums are bullish because they show investors are willing to pay extra for exposure. Discounts are bearish, signaling hesitation. Fees will chip away at returns compared to holding the coin directly. And volatility doesn't disappear just because you wrap a coin in an ETF. In fact, easier access might amplify the swings, as bigger pools of money move in and out quickly. The other angle to watch is derivatives. CME has already confirmed it plans to launch options on XRP and Solana futures on October 13th, subject to regulatory review. Once that happens, we're not just talking about ETFs anymore. We'll have futures, options, and funds trading together. That's the full Wall Street toolkit: exposure, liquidity, leverage. And when those tools exist, institutions move faster. They don't just buy, they strategize. They hedge, they arbitrage, they speculate at scale. Solana in particular looks ready, with futures already established and options coming. Many analysts think it could be the next big listing. Now let's step outside the US. In the UK, the Financial Conduct Authority said that crypto firms will be exempt, at least initially, from the consumer duty rules that will expand in 2026. Those rules are designed to protect consumers across financial services. But the FCA admitted they're too broad and don't fit crypto as it stands. So the FCA is carving crypto out, for now, and working on a tailored framework. That's encouraging, because it shows the regulator is looking to make rules workable rather than trying to squeeze crypto into a banking mold. In India, the picture is very different. The Reserve Bank of India still views crypto as a risk and has not opened the door to real regulation. The Securities and Exchange Board of India is slightly more open, but the country overall remains in limbo. It hasn't banned crypto, but it hasn't embraced it either. Adoption remains high, especially among younger investors, but without clear rules, the potential of the Indian market remains locked. That hesitation matters because India is one of the largest untapped markets in the world. So what does all of this mean? First, the Fed remains the single biggest macro driver. Bitcoin and Ethereum are essentially waiting for the Fed's next move. If we see dovish language or a cut, expect risk assets to run. If the Fed stays hawkish, expect more sideways chop. Second, altcoins just took a huge step forward. XRP and Dogecoin are the proof of concept, and the SEC's new rules mean Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, and Chainlink could be next. That's not a one-day headline. That's a structural change. Third, regulation is diverging globally. The US is opening financial floodgates. The UK is carving out space. India is holding back. The future of crypto will be shaped by these regional differences. Looking ahead, the key things to watch are the flows into XRPR and DOGE. Was day one just a hype burst, or will institutions keep buying? Watch the premiums and discounts closely. The Fed's next policy announcement will be decisive for Bitcoin and Ethereum. In the UK, follow how the FCA communicates the next steps for consumer duty. In India, any hint of movement from policymakers would be huge. And across the market, watch technical levels. XRP needs to hold $3 and break above $3.10 to continue its momentum. Ethereum needs to stay above 4,500. Bitcoin's key range is around 115,000. That's the week in crypto. Another set of stories, another reminder that this market never stops evolving. From brand new ETFs breaking records, to regulators rewriting rules, to central banks keeping us on edge. It's all part of the same story. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you're watching next week. Smash like if you're bullish, and don't forget to follow for tomorrow's update. And as always, protect your crypto, secure your holdings with a ledger using the link in the description, and we will see you at the top.